Afternoon. Thanks for joining me. My name is Hope. I'm here to share some short yoga sessions with you, so feel free to find a comfortable seated position or lay down on your backs, just making sure that you have a little bit of space between the person that sits or lays next to you. Making sure that you are able to find a comfortable shape. And from here, you might like to start to close down the eyes or maybe soften the gaze. And just noticing your breath. And just having an awareness of your body. Using the breath to simply check in. Starting to carve out a few moments to simply be. Focusing on your inhalation. And then stretching and expanding out your exhalations. And continuing to use that connection of your breath to start to just hone in on any subtle sensations that are starting to show up in the body. Perhaps noticing where you are carrying tension or tightness. We tend to carry or hold onto a lot of tension in our shoulders and across the back. Also in the jaw and the hips. So these are areas that we will work on throughout our practice to create some space and expansion and get the fluid of the body and the energy flowing. Let's take 2 more rounds of our breath here. Wherever you are, come with me. Really using that exhalation to facilitate a softening, but also a sense of grounding down, creating stability and a solid foundation. 1 more breath. Now for those of you that are laying down on your backs, you might like to just come up to a seated position. Your seated position can be sitting in Virasana on the tops of the feet and the shins. If that's not comfortable for you, crossing the legs over. And then just draping the arms out down by your sides, fingertips, gently connecting to the earth. We'll take an inhale here, float your right arm up. Softening into the shoulder here, but creating some uplift through your side waist, and then on your exhale, reaching over. Breathing into again any sensations that are presenting themselves to you. Take another inhale, float the hand up, and then exhale, releasing down. Other side, inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to create some more space here. Just checking in, making sure that your weight is still evenly distributed through your sit bone. We're not starting to lift the hip here, we're actually grounding down. Take a breath in and exhale out. Let's rotate the shoulders a few times in one direction. And in the other direction. Returning to center here, take a big breath in, come with me. Again, just taking the left wrist here. Breathe in, and then on your exhale, draw that left wrist over. Inhale, Release the hand. Take the right wrist this time. Exhale. We're creating some lateral extension here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale. Releasing the hands. This time we're going to interlace the fingers behind our backs. Take an inhale. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Puff out the center of your chest. So it's like we're uplifting through our sternum here. On your exhale, draw your navel towards your spine and tuck your tailbone under. So quite often our sit bones are going to poke out, so let's create a little bit more space in the lumbar area by tucking the tailbone under. We inhale to lengthen, we exhale to ground down. So we have two opposing forces of energy here. Now I'm going to invite you to take your bound hands all the way over to the left hip. Square off the shoulders here, pressing your right forearm into the lower back presses back. We create a physical and an energetic lock here. Again, just breathing into the subtle changes, the subtle sensations that continue to show up. Take an inhale, returning the hands to neutral, and on your exhale, reach your bound hands over to the right hip. Square the shoulders off, press the left forearm into the lower back, and the lower back presses back. Let's take one more breath here, breathing in, breathing out, and using your exhalation to facilitate the release of any negativity that you're holding on to, anything that's weighing you down. And then gently releasing the hands. You might like to just give the wrists a little bit of a shake here, a little bit of a circle. Continuing to create hydration and nourishment into the joints as we just gently move throughout our practice. Now again, our practice is about honouring our bodies, so if something causes pain or anyone has any knee or shoulder injuries, just come out of that pose. We're not here to force ourselves. Now, pressing the hands into the mat. Let's find a tabletop here. So our tabletop, we're going to press and connect through every part of the body that grounds into the earth. So the tops of the feet, knees. We have an alignment here, wrists, elbows, shoulders. And then the crown of the head is reaching long. Draw your navel up towards your spine. Take a full breath here. Feeling strong in your tabletop as we work the fingers, the wrists, develop upper body strength. And we require that core strength here to support our spine. A few rounds of cat-cow, drop the belly. Smile through the collarbone, sit bones point to the sky. Exhale, push the mat away, scoop the belly up here. We're just reversing this shape. We breathe in. And we exhale to articulate through the spine. Now this is a nice simple flow that allows us to create a little bit of mobility into the spine. A little bit of internal warmth. And it's also a lovely flow to synchronise the breath to the movement. So if you are new to yoga, this is what it's all about. Linking the breath to the movement of the body to create calmness, a balance. Let's take 2 more rounds of our breath here, breathing in. And out. On your next exhale, drop your hips coming into child's pose, Balasana. So draw the hips down towards the heels. You might like to again create a little bit of movement here. Just gently swaying from side to side. And then reaching the hands out to the top of the mat. Softening your shoulders again. And perhaps the forehead connects down towards the earth beneath you. So let's activate a little through the triceps and the upper arms by pressing the pads of each fingertip into the mat. Elbows float off. And then your forehead, maybe just rolling gently from side to side. Gently massaging the frontal lobe of the brain. And then from here, take an inhale. On your exhale, slide your hands all the way back to your feet. Again, taking your awareness to your shoulders and allowing them to become a little heavier. And taking this opportunity to billow the breath into the back body. We're compressing into the belly organs here, so really firing up our digestive organs. And sending the breath to the available space into the back body, into the spine. And let's take 2 more rounds of that breath here. Any sort of forward folding in a yoga practice really calms our nervous system. So we have parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest mechanism in the body, and the sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight mechanism. Both are required, but what our aim is through practices like meditation and yoga is to live more in the rest and digest side of our nervous system. And we can do that by controlling our breath and creating more efficiency in our bodies. Let's take one more inhale. As you do, gently take your gaze up towards the top of the mat. Float back to our tabletop. Stay for your exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to kick the right leg up behind us, only to the hip height. Square the front of the hips off and engage your belly here to support your lower back. Now again, we want to be long through the crown of the head. So really checking in and making sure that your weight is evenly distributed through the hands. On your next inhale, reach the left hand in front of you. Soften through the shoulders again. We're wanting to minimize or eradicate tension in the body. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, we're going to draw the left elbow and the right knee to connect. And as we do this, we push the mat away to create some space for this to happen. Take an inhale to lengthen from the fingertips to the heel. Exhale, squeeze the belly. So draw your navel up towards your spine, push the mat away to create space. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in. Exhale. 1 more here. Breathing in. And letting go. Returning to tabletop. Take a full circle of your breath. A releasing exhale. Other side, inhale. Now with your hand, the extended hand, it's like you're shaking someone's hand. We inhale for length, and we exhale. Right elbow to left knee. Breathing in. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale, let it go. Really noticing again that connection of your breath to your being. Let's take 1 more. Rotating to tabletop here. Drawing the elbows in towards each other, lowering down onto our bums. Take the hands a little wider and come onto tripod fingers. Press through the tops of the feet, active through your glutes here to support your lower back. We're going to take an inhale. Slowly rise up. If we activate through our glutes here, we strengthen through the back body while we're creating length and opening up through the front body. Exhale, lower down. Rolling Sphinx pose. Breathing in. Breathing out. This time on your inhale, lengthen up. Drop the left ear, left shoulder down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, right shoulder, right ear. Inhale, gently turn your forehead, your gaze to a neutral position. Reach your hands behind, palms face down. So squeeze your shoulder blades, open up through the center of your chest. Half locust pose. Take an inhale. Float your forehead, your chest, your shoulders off the mat. Continue to be active through your glutes to support your lower back as we lengthen from the pubic bone all the way up to the crown of the head. Continue to be active through your fingertips, reaching them back towards your heels. Let's take 2 more rounds of our breath here. Breathing in and exhale to ground down, noticing the connection of your body to the earth beneath you. Taking 1 more breath, breathing in. And exhale, letting go. Press and spread the hands underneath the shoulders, lifting up. Child's pose. Sink the hips back towards the heels. Again, maybe just rocking from side to side here. Any sort of gentle movement. I encourage that freedom of movement to create a practice that's individual to your needs. On your next inhalation, floating up to tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes under. Let's come into our first downward facing dog. Might just walk forward a little, so I'm in view for you guys to see me. So again, we want our feet around hip width apart. Soften through the knees a little because the peak of the pose is the sit bones. Press and spread the hands into the mat here, your fingertips. Soften your shoulders away from the ears. Now if you're really tight in your hamstrings like I am, bend the knees as much as you need to, and you might even like to wobble through the hips and walk the feet out. So this is called walking your dog. Let's take a few more rounds of our breath here. Making sure the crown of the head and the neck is long and heavy. And then take an inhale, take your gaze towards your hands and slowly tiptoe your feet all the way up to your fingertips. Let's take a halfway lift here. Inhale. And then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. So noticing in our halfway lift, shuffle back a bit. We squeeze our shoulder blades together, so we don't want our shoulders or our chest to become concave and collapse. We want to activate through the rhomboids, the back of the shoulder blade, to create space in the chest, to create space for our lungs to work at full capacity. Active through the belly here to support this L shape. Let's take 1 more inhale. Now on your exhale, we want to hinge. Slowly allowing for the belly to connect to the upper thighs. So if you need to bend the knees off to do that. Just noticing that You may look completely different to the person next to you, and that's okay. In yoga, we practice a lot of patience, a lot of acceptance. Each time we step on the mat or move into some sort of practice, our bodies will arrive and they will be different. Energetically, we might be low. Physically, we might be tight. So we just work within our means. We honour where we're at so we can get as much out of our practice as we possibly can. Now, I slowly want you to start to rise up. Allow for the arms and the hands to drape. But we're really strong through the legs here. So we're pressing and spreading our feet. Our weight is evenly distributed. Slowly, slowly, slowly coming up. Roll the shoulders and then allow them to melt down. The spine active through the belly here. Again, just taking your awareness to that connection of the feet to the earth beneath you. Feeling really stable, supported and balanced. And if we tuck the tailbone under, we can create some more space in the lumbar area. Let's take a moment here. And then draping your hands down by your sides. We're just going to do a little flow here. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart space and really just start to hinge from the hips, folding all the way down. This is our hanging Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, slowly fold, press the hands into the mat. We're going to take a big step back with our right foot. So active through the belly to control this movement. And then lower the knee down. Anjaneyasana, inhale, raise the hands up. Exhale, goalpost arms here. So we're creating a back bend, which is energizing for self. We're opening up through the front of the body and we're strengthening through the back body. Fire on your glutes here, your right glute, really fired on. See if you can square your hips up. With our goalpost arms, we're adding another element. We're lengthening through the collarbone and we're creating a little bit of back bend. Depending on the flexibility through your spine, let's take an inhale and your gaze can be skyward. And then exhale, frame the front foot. Tuck the toes under. See if you can take a step all the way to the front. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Press and spread the hands, step back with the left foot this time. Slowly lower the knee down, there's no rush here. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to sink into that front left hip flexor a little more. And incorporate your goalpost arms. Again, just honouring your body and creating a practice that works for your needs. So again, any shoulder injuries, any issues with knees or anything like that, if it doesn't feel right, come out of the shape or just alter it. So noticing sensation through this left quadricep here, the left hip flexor. See if you can really actively press the feet into the mat here and then draw them into the center line of your body. Let's take one more breath and then exhale, frame the front foot. Tuck the toes under and step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, your weight is evenly distributed through the feet. Press up. Bring your hands to your heart space. Releasing the hands now and just slowly taking a moment. You're more than welcome to close your eyes down now and just reflect on where it is that you are right now in your practice. What are you feeling? What sensations are presenting themselves? Are there areas of warmth or tingling in the body? Perhaps you feel a little freer in areas that were otherwise quite tight at the start of our practice. Or maybe you might be noticing more a mental, emotional change from within. Now, whatever it is that you're feeling, it's completely normal, and everyone will be different, but you're noticing you're strengthening your sense of observation and connection with self. Let's take an inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold forward, hinging from the hips again. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, folding, press and spread the hands into the mat. Right foot steps back. Drop the knee. Take an inhale, raise the hands up. Exhale, sink into the hips a little more. Goalpost arms. Option to stay here or shine your heart space up to the sky. From here, release the hands, so we're going to add on a little, interlace the fingers, exactly what we did at the start of the practice. Send your heart space back up to the sky. And then we're going to reach the bound hands all the way around to the left hip. Square the shoulders off. Press the right forearm into the lower back presses back. Continuing to open through the front of the chest. Let's take one more breath here. And a breath out. Gently releasing from your bind, frame the front foot. Tuck your toes under. See if you can really round through the spine to create some space here to step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward, stepping back to left foot. No rush here, taking it nice and slow, lowering the knee down. Inhale, raise the hands up. Exhale to sink into your low lunge, goalpost arms. Option to shine your heart space to the sky. And then gently interlace the fingers behind. Puff the chest out. Take the bind all the way over to the right hip. Square the shoulders off. Returning to center now, framing the front foot. Tuck the toes under on the back. Stepping up. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the hands high. Exhale, draw all of that beautiful energy that you created down to your heart space. Tadasana or mountain pose. Again, just taking a moment of reflection, of observation, practicing mindfulness of your breath and mindfulness of the body. And just settling into this comfortable space. And let's take one more full breath here. Last round, we'll just add one more layer to each side of the body. Breathing in. If you have the eyes closed down, gently blink the eyes open. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, let it go, step back with the right foot. And drop the bad knee. Inhale, raise the hands up. Exhale, goalpost arms, sink into your low lunge. Making sure that the left knee isn't tracking over the left ankle. Let's take another inhale here. Exhale, interlace the fingers. Puff the chest open, crack open the center of your heart. Take a bind here. Left hand reaches all the way to the left hip. Square the shoulders and the hips back off. One full breath here, breathing in and letting go. Releasing the hands, framing the front foot. Tuck the toes under on the back. This time we're just going to step in, say 1 foot span. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Pyramid pose. Straighten the front leg. Again, it depends on how tight you are here. And then fold forward. Slowly melt your heart space down to the leg. Soften the chin towards the chest. And feel a beautiful stretch through that back side of the left leg. Breathe here. It can be quite intense, so on the exhale, see if you can let it go and soften a little more rather than tightening and creating more resistance in the body. On your next inhale, bend through that front leg again and see if you can float the hands up. Warrior 1. Interlace the fingers. Crack open the centre of the chest. Squeeze your shoulder blade. Humble warrior. Take the left shoulder, the point of the shoulder, and take it all the way down to the inside of the left knee. Release off the top of the head and the neck. Really continue to work your feet into the mat here to create stability. Let's take one more breath, breathing in. A releasing exhalation. Release the bind, frame your front foot, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward, press and spread the hands into the mat. Last round this side, guys. Drop the back knee. Inhale to raise the hands up. Exhale, goalpost arms. Take another inhale here. On your exhale this time, interlace the fingers. Crack open the centre of your chest. Take a bind, so your hands reach all the way over to the right side of the hip. Inhale, raise the hands up. Exhale, frame the front foot. Tuck the toes under on the back. Remember, we just want to step in 1 foot span. And just take that left foot this time out to around about a 45-degree angle. Really important to focus on the outside edge of that left foot. Pyramid pose here. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. We're trying to straighten the front leg, but again, we're all built differently here, so the body will do what the body wants to do. As long as you can feel the target area, which is the outside of the right, sorry, not the outside, the back of the right leg. That's perfect. Just checking in with that right hip. See if you can draw the right hip back a little. Let's take one more breath. A releasing exhale. Inhale, press through the feet. Raise the hands up. Virabhadrasana or warrior 1. We want to interlace the hands again. Crack open the centre of the chest. This is the last time. And then on your exhale, humbly bow down. The point of your right shoulder draws closer and closer to the inside of the right knee. Releasing off the top of the head and the neck. Let's take a full breath here. Continuing to squeeze your shoulder blades together, strengthening through the back as we create space in the front body. And then gently releasing, framing the front foot. Step forward here and take a halfway lift. Exhale, slowly fold, releasing off the top of the head and the neck. And then heel toe the feet a little wider. We're slowly going to lower down into a squat pose, just for a moment. Lowering down into a squat pose, take an inhale. Your hands can come to the center of your heart space, knees are wide. And then exhale. Draw the sit bones down. Place the hands on either side of the hips and just take the knees from side to side. Place the hands behind the thighs, slowly unravel your spine, reconnecting it back down to the mat. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Take an inhale here on your exhale to release through the upper traps. You can draw your forehead towards your knees towards your forehead. And then gently release the back of the head and the neck down. Release the feet onto the mat and stretch them out. Drape the hands down by your sides, palms face up. And then also allow for the feet to just stretch out. Being mindful that we've just created a whole lot of space internally, so create space externally as well as we prepare for our final resting pose. Closing down the eyes here. If you have 1 minute to spend in relaxation, that's perfect. If you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes, even better. So closing down the eyes here and just bringing your awareness back to your breathing. Letting go of your body so that you feel completely at ease. Letting go of any remaining tension in your body. And again, just feeling like you are fully supported by the earth beneath you. And as you continue to connect with your breath, letting go of your bones, your muscles, and your skin feels heavy. Allowing for your breath to be long and to be smooth. Just noticing the feeling of your body as it is naturally breathed. Let's take 2 more rounds of our breath, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now, if you're ready to complete your practice, please join me in starting to introduce some really gentle, subtle movements, starting with your fingers and your toes. And from here, you might like to float your hands up and over your head. If you are still laying down, just pointing your toes away from the fingertips. Arching the back and just creating any sort of movement that feels good. And then when you're ready, rolling off to whatever side is comfortable for you. Returning to an upright seated position. And bringing your hands to your heart space. Bowing down in gratitude for sharing this practice today with me. Thank you so much for joining me. Any questions, please feel free to shoot an email or a message. Namaste.